What song would you want played at your funeral? My mom asked me what song I wanted played at her funeral. I was 14 and she had bowel cancer and was going in for surgery that week. I responded without really thinking and suggested, "Ding Dong, the witch is dead," from The Wizard of Oz. My mom survived the surgery and went on to live another 10 years before the cancer finally hit her. Her funeral was at a church she'd attended religiously for many years. They started with a heartwarming PowerPoint slideshow of photos of her life that my dad had put together. Next, a full church band with singer and backup singers came onto the church stage. The lead vocalist came to the microphone and said, "This song was requested by Simon," and then they proceeded to play Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. They sang 2 or 3 lines from it and then changed over to a nicer song. I had no idea she had arranged that. Somewhat blindsided, I looked around the crowded church filled with mourners to find them all staring at me with clear disdain, horror. Kudos to my mother for playing the long game prank. Both of my parents passed last year exactly a month apart. My father introduced me to so much great music growing up, and I became a musician because of it. When learning guitar as a teenager, my father would always compliment me on my playing. One day I was learning "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd, and he casually said he wanted me to play that at his funeral. I couldn't picture a more perfect song to have played at his funeral a month after the love of his life passed. The Show Must Go On, Queen. It's the final countdown. The sounds of nature in nature. I don't want to be remembered in a stuffy church multipurpose room. Easily the SpongeBob ending credits. My wife's funeral was today. Seriously, she was 58 years old and passed away suddenly, 1 week ago today, here at home with me. We played Photograph by Ringo Starr, then finished with Let It Be by the Beatles. I would like the same, please. I am editing to say thank you to all the responses. I did not expect this. Thank you, you made me very happy. I am still between tears and melancholy thinking of her. We were together 38 years, had 1 child together, a son who is now 30 with 2 children of his own. She loved hummingbirds, and I am getting a tattoo with her name, a hummingbird, and the text, "Your wings were ready, my heart was not." Thanks again. I have to quit now. The screen is getting too blurry to read, lol. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. It's the one song that will make me sing along, every time. Without fail. I've told my boyfriend that aside from Tears for Fears, I want the stupidest, silliest songs. He offered up the Safety Dance as a suggestion. This is because I've been to 3 funerals in my life, and for 2 of them, they picked absolute bangers. Absolute bangers I can no longer listen to without getting emotional. Ergo, if I pick an utterly ridiculous song that no one can cry to, I make sure I don't ruin songs for anyone else. The ending song in Return of the King. Into the West, I believe, is the name. So my mom passed away recently and we played Stevie Wonder. Then I found her diary 3 months later and she actually wrote that she would have wanted us to play Fuck You by Lily Allen. She will always be an icon to me. The Monster Mash, please. Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult. Copyright free sad song. Audio of me saying, "Let me out of here, it's dark." Sandstorm by Darude. I'm kidding. Serious answer is Oh My Love by Riz Orlatani. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=lcjgh82 income closing parenthesis. Yes, I saw Drive recently. Just Breathe by Pearl Jam. I knew it as soon as I heard it last year. Soulshine by the Allman Brothers Band. Another One Bites the Dust. I have an agreement with my best friend: whoever dies first, the other has to show up on a motorcycle in a Grim Reaper costume blasting Highway to Hell. Then they should take the bouquet of flowers from the cold dead hands and throw it to the crowd, point the scythe at whoever catches it and say, "You're next." Edit. Wow, didn't think this would become so popular. Thanks for the rewards. Obviously there would be some sort of awareness to parents or people who may be offended. Still debating the Kahoot game on my life at the funeral. And me and my best friend are females. Not sure why everyone assumed we're dudes, but cool. Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Unironically, Good Riddance by Green Day. I think it has just the right amount of nostalgia and meaningfulness, while also being cheerful and a little light-hearted. Motion picture soundtrack, Radiohead. I remember when I was 11, my uncle died. We went to his funeral and the song that was playing was No Estoy Muerto by El Harrigan. Everyone was crying so hard and I remember telling myself, this is a good song for my funeral. My bros that speak Spanish will know what I'm talking about. Edit. Here's a translation, https://www.google.com/amp/s/www.musicsmatch.com/lyrics/l-harrigan-y-compania/no-estoy-muerto/translation/english/amp closing parenthesis of the lyrics. Always look on the bright side of life, Monty Python. All-Star by Smash Mouth. All slam open my casket Shrek style. Space Oddity or Heroes? I can't decide. The perfect answer is to Rickroll everyone you ever knew at once. Float On by Modest Mouse. It's just one of those jams that always cheers me up. Fuck the Pain Away. Peaches. Just imagine those first opening lyrics echoing really loudly off the walls of a quiet church. I told my friends that they better play Welcome to the Black Parade as they bring me in with the casket or I will haunt them for eternity. Megalovania. Float On by Modest Mouse. I Will Survive. Numa Numa, you know, the one that goes Mia he Mia hu Mia ha Mia ha ha. Have you ever seen The Rain? Creedence Clearwater Revival. Coffin Dance. Live and Let Die by Guns N' Roses, preferably played by a bunch of frogs like in Shrek. Something funny. I want my funeral to be a fucking laugh. I full intend to record a video message for people who attend and at the end I'll say, and just remember, I'll always be watching over you, when you masturbate. So maybe something with that kinda theme. Kinda want people to leave having had a good time. Oh, I've had my funeral plans since I was 12. I'm not sure why. I guess I'm just a weirdo. I've always wanted Tom Petty's Wildflowers played at my funeral. In My Life by the Beatles. Edit. Great song from a great album gets great response. Thank you for mentioning great covers. Sunflower, thank you for the award. Blossom. Another Irish drinking song, https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=vz9numdab4 closing square bracket opening parenthesis https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=vz9numdab4 closing parenthesis. I'm an Asshole, Denis Leary. The Dropkick Murphys version of Amazing Grace. Space Jam song. Imperial March, Star Wars, or the Tears in Rain monologue, Roy Batty. Pop Goes the Weasel at my closed casket funeral. Dead Man's Party. My mom wants the Monty Python classic, Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. The 1812 Overture, with actual cannons. If my death happens to be from a cocaine overdose, then I definitely want Master of Puppets by Metallica to be played. I've never tried cocaine yet, so I guess this isn't super likely, but I see it as a solid aspirational funeral plan. Rob Zombie, Dragula, https://u2.be/euquid hoy closing parenthesis for sure. Thunder Road, Bruce Springsteen. I'm not sure, but as someone who briefly worked at a crematorium, it is very appreciated when you pick something different. I get it being your choice and it's full of meaning, but hearing My Way for the 20th time that week may imply that your way wasn't all that original after all. Cake by the Ocean. Everybody must dance during my funeral. Helena by My Chemical Romance. Stayin' Alive edit. Wow, my top comment. If you were wondering, yes, I was serious. I want that song with lots of smoke and sparklers as I'm slowly lowered into my grave. I may be normal on the outside, but on the inside I'm a bit of a party animal. Smiley face. Band of Horses. Funeral seems appropriate. I have a playlist for this. Time, Hans Zimmer, Inception, Stoic Ship, John Powell, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Cold, Jeff Williams, RWBY, Forever, Jeff Williams, Red vs. Blue, Ashes, Martin O'Donnell, Halo, Reach, Contact, Final Transmission, David Levy, Red vs. Blue, Another Rain, Martin O'Donnell, Halo 3. ODST, Burying the Dead, Kevin Kiner, Star Wars, Clone Wars, Never Forget, Martin O'Donnell, Halo 3, Always With Me, Joe Hisashi, Spirited Away, First Step, Hans Zimmer, Interstellar, The Ellie Badge, Michael Giacchino, Up. Yakati Sax. I wanted Spirit in the Sky, but when my dad heard, he requested it, and since he's 73 I think he'll probably get to it first. Chop Suey by System of a Down, but it's one beat off. https://youtube.be/guckeldepsic closing parenthesis. What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. That middle part of Gustav Holst's Jupiter, https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=gu77vija30c closing parenthesis movement. Though I can't say I've lived a grand enough life to deserve it. The Great Gig in the Sky, Pink Floyd. Parabola Tool, Paradise Coldplay, Wish You Were Here Pink Floyd. Edit. Thank you all for the comment. Now for a general reply to them. Parabola is the second transition from the first song Parabole. The reason why I chose this song is because this one is because it meant a lot to me in my own time of woe and suicidal thoughts. It helped me a lot and I listen to it on a daily basis like a religion. We are eternal. This pain as an illusion sticks with me every day. Paradise also helped me in my time of woe, realizing that there are better place and time to think about. Now lastly for Wish You Were Here, that a song that reminds me of my dad, and that's the song my dad once played at his funeral as well. Also thank you kind Redditor for the award. I appreciate you kindness. I am also terrible with grammar, so pardon all my mistakes. Hallelujah from Leonard Cohen, Loudly Crying, Loudly Crying, Loudly Crying. The 20th Century Fox theme song, https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=x-jcvg32zp closing parenthesis exclamation mark. Edit. No, not the blooper flute version lol. The real thing. The Cemetery Gates by Pantera, of course. The beginning is truly a beautiful ballad and then the metal drops. 0 LMAO. Can't wait to see Grandma's face. That one part of the WAP where Cardi B says, "From the top make it drop," and instead of lowering my casket, it fucking falls off the crane and into the dugout. You Can Call Me Al. Paul Simon. It's just such a feel-good song, and I love the thought of people getting inappropriately happy together. Spooky Scary Skeletons. One More Light by Linkin Park. Electric Funeral, Black Sabbath. This may be cliché, but always look on the bright side of life. Whenever I listen to it, I appreciate the perspective of mortality, futility, and putting a positive spin on it. I'd like to share that perspective with the attendants and drive that point home when they watch my body to this tune. The End by The Doors. Or, if it's a military funeral, Goodnight Saigon by Billy Joel. Wonderful World by Israel Kamakavivole. Windows 2100 Startup Theme. The Mario 1-to-1 theme, and when my coffin is being lowered it switches to the underground theme. Take Me Home, Country Road, to the PLAAACE, IBELONGGG. When my husband died at 36, I took his phone and played his mostly listened to playlist. Complete with expletives and whatever else came with it. I got a few compliments. That works for me. Howl's Moving Castle soundtrack. Tetris theme while my coffin is being lowered into the grave. Thanks for watching. See you later.